All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going to take a deep dive into seller onboarding in online marketplaces.
Ooh, seller onboarding.
Yeah, we got this article from 2025. It's all about best practices.
Okay.
You know, it's kind of like peeking behind the curtain
Yeah.
to see what makes a successful marketplace really work.
Right, right.
So the article starts off, it defines seller onboarding.
Okay.
And it's more than just setting up an account.
Yeah.
You know, it's the whole journey.
It's a process.
It's a whole process, yeah.
Yeah.
From when a seller initially signs up, all the way to successfully listing products and making sales.
Yeah, it's about building that relationship, right?
It is.
Between the seller and the marketplace.
It is, it is.
And I think this article is really emphasizing the need to create a seamless and engaging experience.
Oh, for sure.
For the seller.
Absolutely.
Throughout that entire process.
And they have a really interesting statistic right off the bat.
Okay.
80% of online marketplaces experience a decrease in seller retention rates. Wow.
Because their onboarding is not good.
It's a lot.
It's a lot, yeah.
It really shows how important it is to get this right.
Yeah, it's huge.
I mean, think about it from the seller's perspective.
Oh, yeah.
You're excited. You want to start selling your product, but you hit a wall.
Right.
Maybe the process is confusing. It's clunky.
Yeah.
You're probably just going to get frustrated.
So you're out of there.
Yeah. You're going to go somewhere else.
Yeah. First impressions, everything.
Absolutely.
So let's get into the specifics.
Okay.
The article outlines 3 main methods for onboarding sellers.
All right.
And they talk about configuring user groups.
Okay.
Setting up a Become a Seller page, and then integrating that page into the site navigation.
Okay.
So those all seem pretty straightforward,
Yeah.
but I imagine the best approach really depends
Right.
on the particular marketplace.
Absolutely. I think each of those methods has its own pros and cons.
For example, configuring user groups. That might work really well for a marketplace that has like a really exclusive selection of sellers.
Okay.
And they want to have a higher level of control over who joins.
Gotcha.
You know, they can tailor that onboarding experience to specific seller types.
I see.
Like, are they an established business?
Right.
Or are they an individual craftsperson?
Right.
So it allows that level of specificity.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So what about this Become a Seller page?
Yeah.
It seems like a pretty standard feature.
It is, yeah. You see it on most marketplaces.
Yeah.
And it can be a really powerful tool
Oh, yeah.
for attracting and guiding potential sellers.
Right.
But the key is to make it more than just a sign-up form.
Right.
So, like, imagine if a marketplace used that page to showcase success stories.
I don't like that.
Offer sneak peeks into seller tools.
Okay.
Maybe even include testimonials from sellers who are already on the platform and are happy.
Yeah, like social proof.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you're building that excitement and trust.
So it's more of a welcome mat than just a door.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
And then weaving that Become a Seller page into the site navigation.
Right.
That helps ensure that it's front and center.
That it's easy to find.
Easy to find, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, if a potential seller has to hunt around,
Yeah, they're going to give up.
they're already starting off on the wrong foot.
Yeah.
So yeah, that seamless integration into the site design, I think, can make a really big difference in attracting those potential sellers.
So we've kind of talked about the how.
The how.
So let's talk about the why.
Okay, the why.
Why is this so important?
Yeah.
The article dives into 6 major reasons
6, wow.
why it's important to nail that onboarding process.
It's not just about checking those boxes.
No.
It's about that strategic approach to setting both the seller and the marketplace up for success.
Right. And the article goes on to list a couple compelling reasons,
Right.
ensuring a smooth start for the seller.
Of course, nobody wants to jump through hoops to get started.
No, makes sense. You know, it builds trust and credibility for the marketplace. If you have a clear, well-structured process, it signals to sellers that you're organized, you're invested in their success.
You got it together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they even go on to say a strong onboarding process helps mitigate risks and ensures compliance.
That's a big one.
Huge. Yeah.
Because you can include steps to verify seller identities, confirm the products are authentic,
Right.
and make sure that everyone is adhering to the marketplace's rules and regulations.
That's key.
Yeah, it creates a safer, more trustworthy environment.
For sure. For everyone.
Yeah.
Makes sense that this can also lead to better seller performance overall.
Absolutely.
If sellers feel supported and empowered,
Right.
they're more likely to put the time and the effort into creating high-quality listings, provide great customer service,
Oh, sure.
which leads to the next point.
Cultivating those long-term relationships. When sellers feel valued, they feel supported, they're more likely to stick around, build their businesses on that platform,
Right.
and become part of that community.
It's a ripple effect,
It is.
which ultimately leads to that final benefit.
Boosting marketplace growth.
That's the goal.
That's the end goal.
Yeah.
A successful onboarding process is going to attract and retain more sellers,
Yeah.
which leads to more products, competitive pricing.
And a better experience for everybody.
Exactly. It's all interconnected.
It is, but even with the best intentions, I imagine there can be some bumps in the road
Oh,
when
absolutely.
it comes to onboarding.
Yeah. The article goes into some of those common challenges,
Okay.
and it's not always smooth sailing.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of those challenges come from trying to, like fit a square peg in a round hole.
Right.
Trying to use outdated systems,
Yeah.
generic processes that don't really meet the needs of the sellers.
Yeah, you hit upon one of the biggest roadblocks right there.
Okay.
The article calls out poor communication.
Right.
It's like a major stumbling block.
Yeah.
When sellers are left in the dark about like expectations, fees, or marketplace policies, it creates friction.
Right from the start.
From the start.
Yeah.
Lots of frustrating.
And it's not just about providing that information up front.
Right.
It's about offering that ongoing support,
Yes.
clear channels of communication.
Throughout the entire process.
Yeah, the whole jag.
Even beyond.
Right, exactly.
So, think about it.
Yeah.
If a seller has a question about a specific policy, encounters a technical glitch, being able to easily reach out for help makes a world of difference.
It does.
It's about fostering that sense of partnership and not leaving sellers to fend for themselves.
I like that.
Yeah.
The article also highlights the danger of relying too heavily on manual tasks.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's 2025.
Right.
We got AI.
We have all this automation at our fingertips.
We've got automation.
Why are we still using paper?
Why are we still doing that?
Endless emails back and forth.
Yeah. Slowing things down.
It slows things down.
And it just increases the risk of errors.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so think about verifying seller information.
Right.
Processing payments.
Those are tasks that are perfect for automation.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
And manually reviewing, like, every single seller application.
Oh, my gosh.
That could be a real time suck.
It is.
Especially for these bigger marketplaces.
Yeah, and it takes away from, being able to provide more personalized support to the sellers.
Right.
You're bogged down with all these manual tasks.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's about working smarter, not harder.
Working smarter, not harder.
Okay.
Absolutely.
The article cites that automated onboarding can reduce onboarding time by 40%.
That's a lot.
That's huge.
That's a big win for both the marketplace and the seller.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Time is money.
Time is money. That's right.
And speaking of efficiency,
Okay.
the article also points to inconsistent processes
Oh, yeah.
as a major pitfall. Yeah, if the onboarding experience varies wildly depending on who you're talking to or what department you're dealing with,
Right.
it can be very confusing for the seller.
It's going to cause frustration.
Yeah, a lot of frustration.
Yeah.
So a well-designed onboarding process should be like a well-oiled machine.
I like that.
Consistent,
Yeah.
predictable, reliable.
It's a roadmap.
That's right, it's a roadmap.
Yeah.
And this is where, documentation and standardized procedures are really important.
So they know what to expect.
Exactly, and each step of the way.
Every step of the way.
Yeah.
Okay, and of course we can't forget about the legal and compliance hurdles.
Right.
This is where things can get tricky.
Yes, especially in a global marketplace where regulations can vary from region to region.
Oh, it's a minefield.
It is.
And the article doesn't sugarcoat it. It points out that 63% of online marketplaces face legal trouble.
Wow.
Because they haven't properly addressed compliance issues.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
It underscores the need to have a solid legal framework in place.
Right from the start.
Right from the start.
From day one.
Yeah.
Incorporate those compliance checks throughout the onboarding process.
Okay.
Make sure the sellers understand their legal obligations. Have a system in place to flag any potential issues before they snowball into something much bigger.
Yeah, so it's not just about protecting the marketplace.
Right.
It's also about ensuring a safe and fair environment.
For buyers and sellers.
Yeah.
Exactly.
For everybody.
Now, the article shifts gears a little bit,
Okay.
and it highlights a real-world success story.
Oh, I like that.
And I think this perfectly illustrates the power of a well-executed onboarding process.
Okay.
Have you heard of Lindsay and her journey on Etsy?
Oh, absolutely. This is a great example
Yeah.
of how a marketplace can really empower sellers,
Yeah.
especially those who are just starting out.
Especially those just starting out.
Etsy didn't just give her a login and say good luck.
Right.
They provided her with step-by-step guidance,
That's so important.
helpful resources,
Yes.
a supportive community.
Yeah, they actually anticipated her needs.
Yes.
They went above and beyond just the basics,
Right.
offering tips on, how to write good product descriptions, how to optimize her listings for search.
That's where the keyword optimization comes in.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's all about making sure that Lindsay's beautiful handmade jewelry doesn't get lost
Right.
in a sea of other listings.
Exactly. Yeah, and Etsy provided her with the tools and education to make that happen.
And I love that they have the seller handbook.
Oh, yeah.
It's packed with advice and best practices.
It's like having a mentor right in your pocket.
Yeah, it is.
It's a fantastic resource, and it shows Etsy's commitment to supporting their sellers
Yeah.
throughout their entire journey.
They even have these online workshops, right?
They do. They cover things like pricing strategies and marketing techniques.
So it's not just about getting sellers on the platform.
Right.
It's about giving them what they need to succeed.
That's right. Yeah, you're empowering them.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Yeah.
The article mentions that Lindsay's shop became profitable within just a few months.
Wow, that's impressive.
It is.
It speaks to her hard work and her talent,
Yes,
but also the environment that Etsy created.
absolutely.
It's a win-win.
A win-win for sure.
Now, even with a success story like Lindsay's, there's still these potential pitfalls to avoid.
Oh, yeah.
The article outlines 4 major onboarding mistakes
Okay, 4.
that marketplaces should really steer clear of.
They've seen it all.
It's like they've seen it all.
They're here to share that wisdom with us.
Yeah, what really jumped out at you?
Well, that lack of clear communication, like 65% of sellers are more likely to thrive on platforms that lay out clear expectations
Right.
and provide consistent support.
It's like the basis of any strong relationship.
Absolutely.
Transparency, communication builds that trust.
Yes, sellers need to know what's expected of them, how to resolve disputes, what fees they're going to be paying, where to go for help if they need it.
Right. It's about setting them up for success right from the start,
Yeah.
making
Right.
sure they feel supported.
Yes, and then another major mistake is ignoring those legal and compliance requirements.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Yeah, the article really drives this point home with the statistic that 63% of marketplaces face legal challenges
Wow.
because of non-compliance issues.
That's a lot.
It's a stark reminder that cutting corners can have some serious consequences.
Absolutely. It's not just about protecting the marketplace itself,
Right.
but it's about creating that fair and secure environment.
For everyone involved.
Right, for buyers and sellers.
Exactly.
And the article also cautions against neglecting the power of technology and automation.
Right.
It's 2025.
We have all these amazing tools at our disposal
We do.
to streamline these processes,
Reduce errors.
reduce errors, make life easier for everyone.
Yeah, it's all about efficiency. The article mentions that automated onboarding can reduce onboarding time by 40%.
That's huge.
It's massive.
I mean, think about it. Automating things like identity verification, background checks,
Right.
even some aspects of product review.
It frees up so much time.
It-
There are
it-
other things.
it frees up those human resources to focus on the more complex tasks and provide that personalized support.
Read that human touch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's finding that balance.
Yeah, that's sweet spot.
Yes, exactly.
And finally, the article emphasizes that a one-size-fits-all approach to
Yeah.
onboarding just doesn't work.
It doesn't. 72% of sellers report higher satisfaction when the onboarding process is tailored to their specific needs.
It makes sense.
It does.
Every seller is different.
They are.
So a seller who's launching their first online store
Mm-hmm.
might need a different level of guidance and support
Absolutely.
than an established brand.
Right, who's been doing e-commerce for years.
Exactly. And a good onboarding process should be flexible enough
Right.
to account for those differences.
Absolutely. So, we've gone through this whole deep dive
Yeah.
into seller onboarding.
What's your biggest takeaway?
I think for me, it's that seller onboarding is so much more than just a series of steps.
Right.
It's about building those relationships, fostering trust, creating that supportive ecosystem where sellers can really thrive.
Yeah, I like that.
It's the foundation
It is.
that successful marketplaces are built upon.
And as e-commerce continues to evolve at such a rapid pace,
Yeah,
it's exciting to think about what the future holds
it is.
for seller onboarding.
What innovations might we see?
Will we have AI-powered onboarding assistants.
that provide personalized guidance in real time.
That would be incredible.
Imagine.
Or,
Or like virtual reality simulations
oh, wow.
that allow sellers to kind of experience the marketplace firsthand.
Before they even launch their store.
The possibilities are endless. Truly endless. And I think the most successful marketplaces are going to be the ones that prioritize the seller experience, embracing these new technologies, and constantly looking for ways to make that onboarding process smoother, smarter, more engaging.
Yeah, it's all about empowering sellers.
It is.
To succeed.
Absolutely. It's something we can all get behind.
I completely agree. Well, a huge thanks to our listeners for joining us on this fascinating deep dive into the world of seller onboarding.
It's been fun.
We hope you learned something.
Yes.
Got some inspiration.
Absolutely.
For your own ventures.
Yeah.
Until next time, keep learning, keep exploring this ever-evolving landscape of e-commerce.